Yeah, long story short, I've always been, or always, maybe, I don't know, maybe 15 years, for 15 years now, very into channeling. The first channeling that I came across was in Polish and was a Orion related channel. That was the connection through which I came online. And at the time, I would have never believed that I would channel at some point. But it was something that was always very exciting to me. Um, Before I started to channel verbally, though, I received information in regards to building portals. I'm sitting in one right now. It's a dodecahedron that I created. It's made of wood and it's inlaid with copper. And once I did that, then these things started to open me up to more such endeavors. I got very excited about Bashar's information. I discovered Bashar for myself in 2019 or 2020, I think. And what really excited me the most, aside from the teachings, which are great, was Bashar's spacetime antenna. Behind me, you can see a stand for Bashar's spacetime antenna. What I could build with the budget that I had, or that was available to me, is a model that's half the size of what a functional model should be like. And so you see, this is the Merkaba made of copper. It's half the size that it should be, but it is a model that allowed me to show people how you can go about creating one for yourself. Information that I put in my book, Starseeds Activate. So it's basically there to inspire others, and it's my little way of giving back and to share myself. And long story short, I started with automatic writing, and that has then moved to verbally channeling. And I had different beings come through me. They introduced themselves at first as the collective. I would say that was my first connection. And very recently now, the Council of Nine.
Is the Council of Nine connected to Arturians?
The Council of Nine is, from my understanding, Saturnian energy, is Saturn.
I see.
It's here for this collective. It has there are other versions of it in other space-time continuums, but they're all connected in my understanding. These councils are all intertwined in a way.
I could ask you a question or two about the devices that you have shown. The Merkaba seems to have fairly intricate the faces of it.
Yeah, this Merkaba is made of Sierpinski gaskets, meaning that each and every one of these faces has iterations of triangles in them.
Yeah, I see. Sort of like a Sri Jantra.
Very similar to this.
Very similar. Except this very, well, at least three-dimensional in this rendition. It's probably very multidimensional in reality, beyond description.
Yes, in my understanding, what it does is actually is very, very correct what you say there. It is how energy moves between the dimensions. What happens within it, the energy moves in a spiral formation, but it's thanks to these shapes. For basically, it allows for energy to move up a spiral, and then it goes back to its base, and then it spirals again through itself. And this is how energy moves back and forth through the dimensions. And this is how we run on energy. This happens within us. So this also very much connected to what we are going through right now as a species on Earth.
You mentioned a book. Tell us about that book.
It's called Starseeds Activate. This book holds a lot of the artwork that I created. My raps, my rhymes. I love to rap, and these are all I call it essential rap or shamanic rap. They are very much about the things that I channel about, or that that the spiritual community is interacting with them about self-empowerment, really, about stepping back into your own power. And I have a lot of these rhymes in this book, and then many of the artworks that I created over time. And this book is there to help people find inspiration so that they can see it as a sharing that can help them to go about their own artwork, however that may look like, so that people can create from the heart space.
Beautiful. The book is available in Amazon, other places, your website. How do people get your book?
Yeah, my book is available on Amazon right now. My website, I kind of neglected a little bit creating my website. I had a website and then something happened and it wasn't working right, but I need to get on that as well.
Yeah. Artur, you have a beautiful energy and you're very grounded. But you deal with very high vibrations. And, I can see those antennas that you have that there's essentially Bashar gave the blueprints, so to speak. Have you in any way tried to define the range of high frequencies that antenna allows you to more easily bring in?
The first time when I asked for a frequency, it was 528. That's what I received, and but however, how I understand how you work with it, in order to be able to use it for energy generation, because it is a free energy device. If it is functional, that means if it would be double the size, then what you do is you need to find the resonance frequency of that Merkaba itself. Once you find that resonance frequency of that Merkaba itself, you run this resonance frequency through the Merkaba. Around this Merkaba should be a metal sphere that should also be made of copper or gold if you can afford that. But then the Merkaba should be also made of gold. But practically speaking, out of copper. And then this first sphere should have around itself a second sphere that is greater by 1.68. Is it correct? By the
golden ratio, yeah, 1.61.
Yeah, 1.64.
Yeah, and it keeps on going. It's
so, and then the third sphere again greater by the golden ratio. And so what happens is when you run the resonance frequency through the Merkaba, the first sphere and the second sphere and the third sphere, they step up the frequency. So you end up with more energy than you put in. And then ideally, if you will have them in relationship to the size of the Earth, around the Earth in many places, arranged, then you could create free energy for the globe. It's a big project, but gotta start somewhere. So I did with what was accessible to me, whatever I could do in order to inspire others who maybe have the means to take it to the next level and to the next level.
And you have a YouTube channel, I see there. Artur 144.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Is there any healing used to any of the apparatus that you have built?
In my understanding, the healing, yes, these devices, the director healing here, it serves as basically it allows you to balance yourself. So what you do is automatically when you sit within it, you're reminded of certain geometries that can trigger within you to balance yourself. So you are doing the healing. But
you're aligning.
It helps to realign and it helps
right.
to it creates this very calm, subtle field. And it is very easy to go into your 0 point within these structures.
Beautiful. 0 point. It's a beautiful discussion right there. Anyway, with that, I am going to allow you to do your normal to enter into your channeling state. And at the end, of course, we will have questions and an opportunity to chit chat a little bit with you as well. Thank you.
Greetings, beloved beings of light. We are the Council of Nine, and we are not here to talk about us or about how great we are, but we are here to talk about your greatness, about how important you are at this time right now, how important your light is to the planet, to all the people in your life. We are here to help invigorate you, to bring you online, so that this fire can spread. And this fire is the eternal inner fire of the soul. Each and every one of you is here for a purpose. And the main purpose in these times right now is to remain in your heart center, to hold that frequency for as long as you only can. And then, of course, to transform all of these challenges, all of this darkness that you may encounter into light. But it is not required for you to do this by preaching to others, converting others, by instilling your ideas into others. All that is required is for you to be your authentic self at your center in your heart space. This is how you up the frequency for everything around you, everyone around you. This is how you are the beacon of light. And this light is your light. You are bringers of light. And we wish to remind you of this. We are here to remind you of something that you already know, that is deep inside you. And we are here to empower you in making use of the powers that are yours by sending frequencies your way, frequencies that you came to resonate with before you incarnated on Earth. In this way, we know each other already, and you will check in with us once you choose to shift into a different form once again. But we are here, we are now, and we are here for you. And at this point, we would love for you to share yourself, to share your path with us, so that we can do this in more personal ways. If you have any queries,
Definitely. Ray?
Yes, and thank you for bringing your energy and your wisdom to this group. I was curious, after the Pleiadians and the Yahyel come and are part of open contact, I know the hybrid children will follow after that. What other races will be next in line to come and share their energy and their love with humanity?
it is our understanding that the hybrid children are on Earth already, that the hybrids will follow next, that the civilizations that are the closest to your human expressions will follow in line. And from there on, it is not determined yet. But your cousins are in line.
Can you tell us?
Possible.
I'm sorry. Can you tell us which ones would be most like humans? I know that makes sense. After the Pleiadians, the Yahyels, and the hybrid children. I know Bashar said it.
The Lyrians are also a human race. They are also human races within Sirius, also within Andromeda. This is not as black and white as people think. There are many human races.
Excellent. I love that perspective. Thank you. And I know you mentioned that you are part of the energy from Saturn, as I understand it. Can you tell us a little bit more about the other planetary energies and beings? Because that is something that's a gap in my knowledge, and I find it very interesting.
As you incarnate, you come into the solar system and you visit the planets and absorb energies that are important for your incarnation. Each and every one of these spheres hold treasures for you. And then finally, as you come to the planet on which you incarnate, you travel through the sacred caves that hold crystalline information that is of relevance for you, especially if you have been to that world before. You revisit those halls of records in that shape, even though the halls of records, of course, are non-physical. Each planet has its library of information and stores this information in crystalline form. You pick up this information, whatever is needed for that expression, for that given incarnation. But of course, it is not you. This is only a colloquial way to express this, for you are the you that you are and will never be a different you. However, there is something that is a sacred melding of souls, so that a soul can experience what it maybe missed out on experiencing through this sacred marriage of souls at a given point throughout someone's incarnation. It is very flexible, very malleable, and these things can shift and do shift at all times. So these spheres hold frequencies that are of relevance to that experience that you came to have from a higher self perspective. This you that you experience yourself as in the now, as a human, is only the slightest percentage of your being, which is so vast. It is the greater part of you, it is the most of you. However, we do not wish to diminish your perspective. It is valuable, important, authentic and as important as everyone else's, of course. You did not do this because you were bored. You did this because you wanted to experience yourself from a different perspective, to grow and to expand in ways that you can only through this great limitation of physicality.
I really appreciate that answer. Thank you very much.
We thank you.
Do you have another question, Ray?
Yeah, I was curious about once open contact occurs, I know the term is used, the thinning of the veil, and we will be able to connect and have conversations with our loved ones who have transformed back into the spirit realm. And I'm sure there are no limits to who we can connect, but does that include past and future entities as well, as long as it's relevant for us?
Yes, you connect to these expressions of your soul already, as well as to the dearly departed ones already. You can do this, and the more people do this, the easier it becomes. But the communication will become more clear, and there are no limits to this connection that you can have, because you are boundless. It is always within you, has always been within you. And the veil also has been within your DNA. So as the multidimensional parts of your DNA come more and more online, and as you begin to attune to this, and as these civilizations who are already very good at this will come to Earth, you will also resonate more with the frequency that these civilizations are sharing with you, which will make it even more easier for you to do this. So the veil is within you, always has been within you, as well as all of these connections. It all happens within you. All of physicality is a dream that occurs within you. All of the limitations of physicality are limitations within you. And you have played this game and are playing this game of duality and of great limitation. The easiest way to go about breaking down these walls is to go within, to go into your heart space. This is where things become easy and effortless for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that wisdom.
I have a question about the impending open contact that has to do with,
He's muted. Hold on.
yeah, he's muted. Artur, you muted?
Yeah, he's
okay,
dealing with
got it.
he's dealing with a 3D matter.
Okay, no sweat.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. There was
Hey.
a short interruption.
No problem. Question about open contact and the impending reaction of world governments. Today, I saw in the news a remembrance of 1952, 2 weeks in 1952, in which there were massive sightings of UFOs in the Washington, D.C. area. And apparently, there were fighter jets that were sent to intercept them. And of course, ultimately, it was all put hush hush. But the reaction, which is natural of governments to try to pursue them and create the illusion that something's not really happening. The question is, how is that going to play out as we approach this window for open contact?
Let us give you an earthly example. Let's say a stranger comes up to you and you start to have an interaction, and the stranger is the kindest person you've ever met. So kind, so that it brings up within you doubt in regards to this person's ambition, this person's motives, because you say to yourself, this is too good to be true. The next day, you think back about that interaction And maybe you change your mind and you think to yourself, oh, this person was from the heart. But I have been closed up to this. I see now that this person was genuine. In a way, this is how it is with open contact. With contact with these civilizations. These civilizations are your family. Always have been. And have been looking out for you. Have been helping you behind the scenes in many ways. Without infringing upon free will, of course. But they are there and they understand what you're going through. They understand the programming that you have been experiencing. They understand the density of this earthly reality. And so each and every interaction is teaching these civilizations how to interact with you. They are taking the clues from you. And yes, there will be those who will choose not to open their heart. But then there will be also those who will welcome their family from the stars with open hearts and open minds. And these civilizations will focus on these people and invest into those people first. But of course, will continue to send love and light to those who still dwell in darkness. Give everyone an opportunity to come around and to gain for themselves a better understanding of how love works. Because truly, it is love coming to the planet.
Beautiful. Angie, please.
Hi, thank you so much for co-creating this interaction with us. You spoke earlier about how souls come here to have these experiences and such. I have heard many accounts over the years of those who didn't want to come here, but ended up coming for whatever reasons their councils, whoever helps them arrange their incarnations, really kind of pressured them into coming. So I'm wondering if you could speak on that angle of the whole incarnation process.
This is an ego mind distortion. In actuality, to come to Earth, you have to be a strong spirit. It is a master class, and it is desired by souls to come here, to grow in a very short amount of time, to grow very fast, to experience the strength that you have within you, to put yourself to the test, and to shine brightly. In actuality, it is a great honor to go through this master class. Because when you come to Earth, not only do you fully forget who you are, but there is so much genetic material from so many different worlds. This genetic material that is there on Earth contains emotional information as well as memories of different expressions that you have had, different traumas. There's a lot to convert into light. So in order to take on such a masterclass, your connection to your own divinity needs to be very strong, very profound. When you come here, you have to be masterful already. And when you come here and you forget everything, then you practice your mastery. You practice to remain in your heart center despite all of the chaos going on around you. You are challenged to find yourself, to find your connection, and to keep this connection alive, even when no one around you does. It is a masterclass. It is an honor to be here now on Earth. And those who go through very difficult things and those who create a lot of turmoil and go through great darkness are in your service as well. Because through contrast, they're showing you what you do not wish to experience, so that you yourself don't have to dive this deep into darkness. Which is why we recommend not to judge, but to send your light, especially to those who dwell in darkness, so that their hearts can learn from this frequency. It does not mean that you are condoning their doing. It does not mean that you are rewarding them for what they are doing. But you are showing them a way in which they can function as well. You are exposing to this rhythm that you are holding, that you are aligning your heart with, so they can attune their hearts to this as well.
I have a couple of follow-ups, though. I'm a little bit confused by this. So you're confident in saying that there are absolutely zero souls who have come here not really wanting to, but of course have agreed to, of their own free will, understanding what they would gain from it, but technically wouldn't have preferred to come. They were kind of pressured into it. You're saying there's not one single soul out there. I mean, I can imagine there are masters who've already been here and maybe didn't want to come back. You know what I mean? But they did, or ended up, or whatever, so it's not like they haven't ever been here before. They've experienced this place before. And of course, it's so low density. It's not, I would imagine it wouldn't be a first choice for many reasons, but souls do understand the benefits from coming here. But so you're saying that there aren't any that come that really didn't want to come.
There aren't any that came here that did not want to come. Your perspective as a spirit is vastly different from the human perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a soul, as an example, in the spiritual realm, glowing brightly, and you ask yourself, how did you achieve this glow? And you hear what this soul went through. You say to yourself, of course, I want to do this. I can do this. I am boundless. I am limitless. I feel excited about this. I want to do this. And then you do this. But when you are here, things look very different.
Are there other levels to, like, are there different levels of a soul? Like would a soul at its very highest level obviously want to come, but there might be another level of that same soul that didn't want to come? I'm just curious because there's been so many testimonies of people. So I'm trying to understand, maybe there's a level of their soul that didn't want to, but on the highest level, maybe oversoul level or something, that's the one that said, yes, I do want to.
You understand what you're referring to. There are perspectives through which you are shifting. And you shift all the time until you shift to your perspective as the one that is all, experiencing yourself as the one that is all. The moment you have a desire to experience something else, you are in that experience. You are boundless. In spiritual form, you are limitless. And everything goes. As soon as you ask yourself this question, As soon as you express this desire, you become this.
Okay, thank you.
We thank you.
Ray, please. Oh, Ray was having a difficulty. Apparently, it materialized. So I'll be next again. So you spoke earlier about resonance, coherence, and that all that we need to do is to be our authentic us. And I interpret that as I have got to become coherent, heart, mind, coherent in every other way. More so, not perfect, but more so as I'm able to do that. And my resonance allows me to connect to other aspects of me, multidimensional aspects of me. And now I am like a center point that basically emanates, amplifies, transmits, receives that resonance. And so presence is what really does the trick.
That's correct. To be present in the now, in the here and now, that means to be in your heart space. That is when you are allowing yourself to receive fully and unconditionally that which emanates from the center of your galaxy, to align with the beating of the cosmos, with the central sun, with the central heart. That is when you are allowing unconditionally for the flow of creation to flow through you. That is when all cells in your body begin to morph, to align themselves with the original blueprint of your soul. And by doing so, your presence reminds others what they can do for themselves, reminds them of the frequency that they can unlock for themselves within themselves. It makes the greatest change. Your beingness makes all the difference.
Thank you.
We thank you.
Does anybody would like to interact? The authenticity in you may want to express something.
I'll ask another question for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
I see Travis also. Travis, are you interested in asking a
Okay.
question? Travis?
I have no question.
Oh, okay. I saw you moving. Okay, Angie, why don't you go ahead?
Okay, so I'm still thinking back on some of the stuff you'd said earlier, how this is a master class type of planet. That is definitely in alignment with my understanding. But my understanding was also that there are souls that are only from this planet and that are still working their way up through the evolution process, I guess, or ascension process. And that makes me think that they aren't masters. These are the ones who've been stuck here for loops, for eons, stuck in incarnation loops and stuff, or is basically even those, even they, are they masters that are just taking a longer time getting through the class?
We think we understand what you're referring to. However, once you are in spirit, you are free to do as you please. No one ever has to reincarnate here or there or elsewhere. Once you are in spirit, you can choose to remain in spirit. You can choose to experience realities that are non-physical altogether. You can choose to experience different dimensions. You can choose to experience different worlds. You can choose to experience this world again. There is no before, after, there is only the eternal now. But to make sense of this, so that you have a reference point. There are souls who had experiences on many different worlds, and there are souls who had very many different experiences on this world. We refer to these souls as old souls, even though all souls have the same age. Not one is older than the other. We speak here of experience in reference to this world. There are those who have more experience in this earthly expression than others. And then there are those who have more experience in other worlds or a different specific world. And they carry in a different frequency. And for them, it may be a shock to experience a density this great. But nevertheless, no one is stuck here. There is no entrapment. There are no incarnational loops in which someone can be trapped. In spirit, you are free, boundless, to do as you please or not to do, if you desire, as you desire. You are the children of creation. You are eternal, everlasting, and you do as you wish.
When you say we do as we wish, though, are there levels of spirit, outside of the physical body in their understanding? Like they have the free choice, of course, to incarnate wherever and however, but are they under impressions that aren't exactly correct? Or, or like for an example, one might feel they really should come back to try to redo that lesson over again or something like that, where in reality, they don't really need to. They are God. They don't need to go back, but they feel the compulsion, which is because of a false belief or what have you. I mean, is there a form of, I don't want to say ego up in spirit realm, but something that transcends even after we pass here, that we still hold beliefs that direct our choices that we wouldn't otherwise make if we had a different belief system that has come with us after this life. Does that make sense?
It does. You come here in soul groups as family. When you choose, let's say, for example, not to fully depart, it is because there is unfinished business. There is something that you wish to convey. But still, it is a very small portion of you that chooses to do you. Your greater part always resides in the spirit realm. It is, let's say, like your pinky being here, and it wishes to interact with the pinky of your other loved one to make sure that everything has been conveyed, what it wished to convey. However, these souls already interact fully with each other on the other side. Never have been separated, never have been apart from each other. But love is unconditional. And this physical experience is like a snapshot from the other perspective looking. It is a brief moment, a very, very short dream. However, that does not mean that the experiences that you have here are not significant. The relationships that you have are real. Your experiences are very real within this illusion. So many times when this connection is not fully severed, it is out of love, out of something that has not been fulfilled fully, not fully conveyed, if that makes sense.
I think so. Thank you.
Ray, please.
Yes, I was recently connected to an Andromedan energy, and I understand that they really do not like rules. Can you tell me more or tell us more about those particular beings?
These beings are not as limited in their expression as the earthly experience is. On Earth, you experience a lot of things that you think that you have to do. This, of course, stifles the creative flow within you. The mastery on Earth is, though, to find a way to bring passion and joy into the mundane things that you think that you have to do. This is one way to practice your mastery, one way to transform density into lightness. The
Okay.
Andromedan freer or more free to create as they please. And there are, of course, different expressions from physical to non-physical within Andromeda as well.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about their physical form if they choose to have it? Do they have any that they normally get?
This information is at this point not provided through this channel.
Thank you.
There is a different connection waiting for you that you will seek out and form with a different channel.
Wow, that's exciting. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And your energy and your interacting with all of us. Thank you.
It is our great pleasure and joy.
Are the other human races that exist in any way in contact with us?
Yes.
You have
They are
any?
family.
Yes.
They are family. And many of you have these connections through your soul, expressions of yourself on those planets. You refer to these expressions of yourself as your future self, sometimes as your past self, which goes back to an earlier question. You do have these connections and you learn from each other. Sometimes they learn from what you went through, and sometimes you learn what they are going through from them, but you are constantly exchanging with each other information.
And so that may have something to do with the fact that some mornings you wake up on the right foot and some mornings you wake up on the wrong foot.
Well, and as well as the programming that you are going through here. Remember, when you go into your heart space, you are not within the ego mind. When you are in your heart space, you tap into unconditional joy, unconditional love, free from program. Only that the difficulty in this earthly expression is to hold on to the frequency. Sometimes even to find it.
So for some reason, when you show that Merkaba in some detail, it represented to me very many dimensions and dimensional portals, if we want to call them that way. And that's what we are.
Each
And
and every one of you, each and every cell of you is utilizing this arrangement of tetrahedrons in order to shift energy back and forth. Energy that you run on. Each and every one of you. Throughout this time, as you find yourself within a portal that is open more or less until the 11th of January, this is a great opportunity for you to shift yourself into the reality that you truly prefer. And the best way for you to do this is to be in silence, to reflect, to remain at the heart center. And from there, you will receive inspiration. And then you can take inspired action. And you can visualize, fantasize, daydream about the coming year and roll out in front of you like a carpet, a pathway of energy that will help you move forward, onward and upward, if you wish to do so.
And this energy will be generally 11th and a bit
More or
longer.
less on the 11th of January, this portal will make way for other shifts. But you're in the midst of this portal right now.
I see. Thank you. Angie, please.
This is kind of a random question, but whenever I think of Saturn these days, I think of what I have learned over the past couple of years in regards to a notion that the planet Saturn has recently, or for a time in our recent time here on this Earth plane, been channeling its energies to our moon. Does this ring a bell at all for you?
The moon is like a mirror and like a lens, and it helps for these energies to reach your planet, amplifying these energies. It is helpful in this way.
So it's helpful. The impression I had gotten is that it was actually not for the greatest good of humanity, because it was going to be moon and then emanating towards the earth. But you're seeing it from a different perspective.
Our perspective, the moon is a great gift. It is being utilized by benevolent civilizations. It is being utilized by us. It is a natural structure that has been altered, specifically altered for great benefit, to bring balance, to maintain balance, to amplify frequencies, to mirror these frequencies.
Okay, thank you.
We thank
Ray,
you.
please.
Yes, thank you. In our linear time, can you tell us how long it will be before other ETs utilize Earth as a vacation destination openly?
You are going to experience open contact by 2027. But how far you will take this contact is in your hands. Though the potential for integration into the alliance of worlds is great, which sparks excitement in the hearts of many. You are being watched by many civilizations, by family, by your forefathers, your grandparents, by those who seeded, those who came to establish open contact, and those who seeded them. Many are watching, many are excited and rooting for you.
So if we open our hearts, we open the doors to those interactions. Thank you.
We thank you.
I have the feeling. I have
that
the.
so-called spirit,
Yeah.
that you would confuse them with angelic beings. And it would not be far-fetched to say that these beings are angelic. You all are angels. You are the angels of Earth. There are civilizations who have moved in their evolution so close to spirit that the only difference is that they have a home base on a planet, while angelic beings never had a home base in any physical expression, but remain the link between all worlds.
Interesting. I have experienced a lot of presences in my house, in my surroundings, in the forest that I go to, that I feel are not nature elements. And they seem to be more than ever. Perhaps I am more sensitive to it than ever.
Because you are experiencing contact. You are experiencing contact. And it is up to you how much of it you wish to manifest, to physicalize, but you are having contact.
That's so interesting to me.
Your awareness creates the shift. The more you look, the more will be shown to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any final message for the group?
The Heart Center. Remember, we are here to empower you in the powers that you hold. The more you make use of them, the closer you get to being yourself, to experience your own creative flow that flows directly from source. Each and every one of you is a child of creation. And we are very excited to see you light up, to see this soul fire burn within you. Please do not break this chain. Please empower others, empower the people around you. You don't have to be overt about this. It is enough when you allow yourself to remain in your heart center, for your frequency makes all the difference. We thank you.
We thank you.
Fabulous.
Yay.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you. It's been too long since you've been with us. Oh my gosh, that is just has such clarity and love which comes through Artur, and I know you exhibit that in your personal life as well. Thank you for blessing us with your presence.
So when did you move to Georgia, by the way?
Oh, in Georgia, I've been now for a minute. I've been only visiting in Germany, and we are now in Georgia for 11 years. So, yeah, I was visiting my parents in Germany, and then we were traveling around a little bit. And yeah, and I was just recently again in Berlin, but there was a work trip, so we were there with a class of students, or with a group of students, and I was one of the chaperones there. That's why I was in Germany just recently again, but it was for work. But yeah, I've been living in Conyers now for a good 11 years.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought that you were in the Chicago area at some point in time. But
Chicago was my first city in the States. I lived in Chicago for 9 years before I moved to Conyers, which I also enjoyed greatly. Great city.
How are we doing in Europe in terms of all of us working together in the ethers to bring about this integration that's necessary so that this open contact, not only that, but the excitement of connection, personal connection to all that exists happens for a large part of humanity?
I would say it depends on whom you ask. There are still people just like here who don't want to hear anything about it, and it's all woo-woo to them. But then there are people who are very immersed in this and who are doing the work. So I saw both sides of the coin, and um, on a different level, within the dream state, there are many people who are doing the work as well, while the physical expression doesn't even have a clue about what's going on with them when they are going to sleep, you know. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of great potential, a lot of change is coming, definitely.
Beautiful. So with that, we're going to close this section, and we'll take a little break, Artur, and we invite you to stay with us. Travis is going to be the next channeler. That will be in about 6 minutes, approximately. Thank you. We're honored to have you here.
It's good to see you again.
Yes,
Thank you.
Anita has a question for Artur.
Oh, there's a question there. Okay, go ahead, Anita.
Artur, what do you do in Conyers for work?
Yeah, I work at a school as a technician, so I get to support the teachers and the students in the classroom and outside of the classroom, which is exciting. I get to do a lot of different things. I'm not stuck doing just one thing. I'm excited about being able to do many different things.
I travel to Georgia quite frequently, several times a year, because I have a sister in Flowery Branch, which is just north of Atlanta. And so I was wondering, do you hold, meetings or anything in person?
I would be delighted to do that. I just have been so busy with work. And I travel like I'm 3 hours a day on the road, so my commute is quite long. And when I get, it's the kids and the family. So,
yes,
but yeah, I'm working on freeing up my schedule. But I'm not forcing nothing. However, it evolves. But yeah, I definitely throughout this portal putting out my intentions. To open up my schedule in gentle ways to allow for transition.
I'm curious to see your setup, how you've your portal.
Thank you for asking. So I will show you. It's basically a structure like so. So it's like one side is a pentagon, and there are 12 of these pentagons, and they all put together they make up the dodecahedron.
Okay.
But there are 20 vertices and 12 faces. And the first one I built was the icosahedron. This was the other way around. It had 12 vertices and 20 faces.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm definitely going to get your book.
Artur, when you do these sessions online, like what we're doing here today, do you usually sit in the same spot? Do you usually do a lot of work in that spot?
When it's cold outside and the weather doesn't allow for it, then yes. But one of my preferred spots is actually up against a tree in my backyard. So that also,
well, my follow-up question is, how have you detected that your energy is affected by being there?
The funniest thing is because I had a very tough time at work and a lot of work. At that time, it was so much so that I literally came home just to sleep. Maybe I had like 5 hours of sleep, and I was so exhausted. I chose to sleep inside the structure. I had a massage bed in here, and the next day I was like ready to go. I was all good. So it shown me that it helps me to do. I would say it helps with biofeedback first. So your body, gets acquainted to the geometry, and then it pulls everything into the center. You open all in the center.
It's a resonance chamber, for sure. So
it's, yeah.
It's got to be doing its thing for sure. We have a request for you to type in the chat the name of the book, okay, so people can find it with ease.
Yeah, Christine added it.
Oh, Christine added it. Okay, wonderful. And we're going to take the 5-minute break. No, but let's make it 6 minutes, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Art. Thank you.
That was intense, Lewis.
Yeah. Well, expansive by the